Hello, Tea Family. How are you this evening? Yes, I'm in a different place. And we're not going to be doing what I promised last week because, life sometimes throws you a huge curveball. And so we are going to do something different. We will have part two of that. But not for a couple of weeks. And so I want to say I'm really thankful that you're here today, and we're going to talk about something different. I do want to bring you up to date on a couple of dates, but first, say hello in the chat or the comments. Let me know what you're having for tea tonight. I am having some serene sunrise in my cup. My handy dandy assistant is drinking some soda tonight in his soda can. But I do want to say next week what we are going to do, I'm not sure. The week after that is the day after Mother's Day on the 11th, and that I'm going to move to the questions and answers because we may be traveling again. And so on the 18th of May is when I plan to do part two of teapot versus teacup. And we're going to be really getting into a lot of the teapots and matching them with teas and different things like that. But that'll be part two. And that is coming on the 18th. And so I did want to start with that. Let me put my comments up. There we go. All righty then. And then let me flip back over here. So today, what we're going to be talking about is a big holiday that is in all the stores right now, and that is Mother's Day, and it is right around the corner. So what better way to celebrate some amazing women in our lives rather than with a beautiful tea party? Something that's meaningful, delicious, memory-filled. And so we're going to walk you through everything you're going to need for that, from planning to serving, from pairings, pairing the food with the teas and different things to make sure every moment of your tea party feels special. So one of the things I'm going to start with is setting the mood. Now, this talks about tone. Your space that you want to have it in is part of the experience. So choose a location and a color palette that feels soft and welcoming. Then you want think pink blushes, creams, gentle greens, those sort of things. Pretty tablecloth, fresh flowers, maybe some candles, soft music in the background can sometimes help. Nothing too loud, just kind of a backdrop to conversation. But you may want to have it outside. And if you want to have it outside, then think about where you want to have it. And then I would definitely go full wildflowers. I would do a bright colored tablecloth on the picnic table or the tables that are outside. Think more pinks, purples, blues, greens with deeper tones in them. And you can still bring some wickless candles, some battery operated candles in case of wind and everything being outside. You wouldn't have to really worry about the background noise so much, but just something nice and pretty depending on what you would like. All right. And then just checking comments really quick as I keep looking up and down. So what should you serve? Well, I want to say you want to go with a balanced group of foods. So you're going to want some savory, some sweet, something light that's going to pair with multiple teas. Traditional savories are going to be, mini cucumber sandwiches, chicken or egg salad tea sandwiches are very traditional. Savory quiche bites. Those are all very traditional. They go with a wide variety of teas. There's usually something somebody can enjoy in there, especially if you make your quiche bites very paleo or gluten-free friendly for guests that have those kind of dietary restrictions. Now, somewhere between the savory and the sweet, if I had my tier tray here, which I do not, the savories would be on the bottom. And then on that mid-level, this is where we're going to kind of have savory and sweet. This is where we're going to want those warm, freshly baked scones with some clotted cream and jam. And I don't want you to just think about traditional sweeter scones. There's plain that we think of as traditional. There's the fruit in them, like a cranberry orange. But think outside, like a lemon rosemary or a tomato basil scone, and then if I did a tomato basil scone, I might want to do like a hot pepper jelly or a jalapeno jelly or something a little more spicy to kind of match. And so really think about it. You don't have to just stick to sweet scones or your traditional scones. Go ahead and think about some different and unique flavors that you want in there. For instance, the tomato and basil was great. You could do it with, especially coming in combination with like cucumber sandwiches, because you're going to have the cooling of the cucumber sandwich, a little bit of the spice with the scone and maybe that hot pepper jelly. And then that's going to want to lead you to the very top tier on your tier tray. And that's going to be your sweets. You could go anything with chocolates, petite fruit tarts, lemon bars are always really good. Chocolate brownie bites are really good. Classic shortbread cookies could be put in here. Bonbons, all those kind of chocolate covered strawberries is one of my favorites, especially you dip a fresh strawberry in dark chocolate. That is a really great way because you get the strawberry and you get the dark chocolate. And it's enough sweetness to kind of balance off maybe some of your more savories and your other flavors and finish it off really, really well. That's highly recommended. And it goes with a wide variety of teas and tea blends. As I take a sip. So those would be some of the suggestions, but remember, you want some things that people are going to enjoy, that they're going to nibble on, and the goal is to go and get a little bit of variety, but not overwhelming. You do not need to make 12 different kinds of savory. Have 3, have 4 different kinds. That's enough. And when you are creating these, typically the rule of thumb is 1 of each for each person. So if you have 8 people, then you would have 8 of each kind of sandwich, so that everybody could technically get 1 of each if they wanted. Now, typically people don't take 1 of each. They kind of start with the ones they really are interested in. But that's kind of a really good rule of thumb, is that you make enough of 1 sandwich for each person that you think will attend. Okay. So how are you going to figure out which teas pair the best with which flavors? And let me go back and start over again. So the heart of the party is going to be the tea, and the food and the tea we want to pair well and balance and contrast each other. So I always like to start with a nice bright black tea blend first. Those typically are very perfect to go with savory. So this we're talking morning Irish, we're talking breakfast blend, we're talking serene sunrise. You could even do an onyx chai here, appealing if it's in season. Those are the kinds of black teas that I highly recommend that you put with the that first savories. The robust nature of the black tea is going to pair really well with the sandwiches, the quiche and the cucumber sandwiches. And it's very grounding, it's very classic, and it's just a fun way to start. Now, when you move to that second tier where you have those kind of scones and clotted cream and jams and everything, this is where it's great to bring in a floral or a green tea blend. So think Ancient Green Dragon, which is what originally I thought I was going to be drinking tonight, or Emerald Garden, or even a green mint if you like peppermint. Lemon zinger would be a good one. So any of the green teas or the green tea blends, or if you wanted to try and stick with something that was a little more floral but no caffeine, then I would even suggest you could go with like Maiden's Blush. You're going to get some honey notes in there, no caffeine. Makes for a really nice balance against the scones and the jam and the clotted cream. Now, up on the top, when we're dealing with the chocolate, you really could go with any tea you wanted, but this is typically where I like to kind of finish it off with that caffeine-free, something herbal like an evening mint would work. The Maiden's Blush that I just talked about. And apple ginger, the Sunlit Orchard would work really, really well here. This is also where I would suggest a tea blend. We just had our live sale, and I'm struggling to remember the name right this second. It's not the All Hail Kansas. What was the other one? No, Harmony would be great right in here too, but that's not what it was. It was the caffeine-free blend, the pineapple.
Aloha Breeze? No.
Aloha Breeze would work really, really well, adding some sweetness. The name will come to me. Sorry, everybody. My brain is not fully functioning right now. I've been operating on a sleep deprivation. Let's just leave it like that. So when you're thinking about pairing tea with food, I want you to think about balance. Yes, they should complement each other. Yes, they should kind of contrast in some case, but bold teas with rich flavors and delicate teas with light and refreshing bites, you do want to keep it somewhat in balance so that your tea is not overpowering the food and the food is not overpowering the tea. So those are different things to think about as we progress on. Now, then let's talk about the flow of the tea party. We've got great food and the teas are all picked out. It's time now to talk about the flow. Greet each guest with a small cup of tea as they arrive, maybe something light and refreshing, or give them a teacup and let them pick a tea to begin with. Kind of sets a nice relaxed tone. Always offer the savory selections first, kind of let everybody settle in and enjoy some small bites. After those, then you're going to bring out the scones and the spreads. And this is where you would offer to pour a second tea variety. Some people like to drink the same tea the whole time. No problem. You already have your teas all brewed and waiting at the proper temperature. So go ahead, and if somebody needs to be caffeine free, then let them be caffeine free. But a lot of times it's fun to try a different tea with each course. So read your guests. Then you may have some of both. But this is where you're going to want to bring out a second tea variety if they want a mixture. And then finally, the sweets come last. We always want to finish with dessert. I know sometimes on days like today where it's my son's birthday and Bubba McGee, that's just a nickname, but Bubba McGee would always want to eat dessert first. And I know so does a lot of other members of our family. Or so do a lot of other members of our family. And that's great, but not when we're having the tea. We don't want to eat all our sweets first. We save those for last. That's when we want something sweet and calming. Continue with your conversation and connecting with one another and different things like that. So I do want to point out that Mother's Day is not just about the food. It's really about the connection. And that's where you can have some really special ideas to kind of make it a little sentimental or even a little more special, much more memorable. Invite everyone to share a favorite memory of their mom. Maybe provide small cards so guests can write a message to their mom or to a mom figure or to someone they know that they're close with that's a mom, for those who have moms that have passed away. Just a little card thinking of you. You're such a great mom. I appreciate all you do. Those kind of things. Provide those little cards, and even with a little stamp on it and an envelope, and then they can just send those cards or give those cards to whomever they wish. Just a sweet little note like that can really make your tea party special and extra sentimental, but like really memorable and stand out against all the other tea parties and tea and Mother's Day competing activities. Then think about doing maybe even a small toast to your mom if she's there, or your mother-in-law, or that mom that's special, or just a toast to all moms out there, thanking them for what they do. These are really kind of the small experiences that become the very cherished memories for everyone that they think back on and like, oh, remember when we did that Mom's Day tea party and everybody said this. And those are the things that they remember, is that connection, that experience. And that's what you want to bring apart. That's what our tea company is about anyway. We just love to connect with people about tea, share our teas, talk about tea, answer questions, but it's about connection. It's about creating that tea family community. That's what's really important to us. So what would I give for kind of some final tips on the tea party? I would say set up as much as you can the day before so that you can also be in the moment and enjoying the tea party. Pre-brew some of the teas before everybody starts to walk in and try and have them timed so they're ready right then, and then keep them warm in like insulated crafts, or put a tea cozy on the teapot or what you need to so that they're kind of ready and you don't have to spend all your time fussing getting, oh, I need to make more of this tea, or let me get this tea hot. The more you can kind of do in advance to, again, connect with the people that are there and really experience it together. And then label the teas, including ingredients. Now, one of the reasons why we put ingredients on all of our teas is because I have food sensitivities, intolerances, allergies, pick whichever word you would like to use, as do some of my children and family members. And so I want to make sure they know all the ingredients, because I don't want to serve a peppermint tea or an evening mint tea to someone who's allergic to peppermint. I also don't want to serve serene sunrise to someone who's allergic to cinnamon. If someone has a health condition and they can't have any caffeine, put how much caffeine: high caffeine, medium caffeine, low caffeine, zero caffeine, those caffeine-free blends. Those are things to think about. And when you label, you can label the name of the tea blend, all the ingredients, and the amount of caffeine, and that really, really will help those who have those sensitivities and issues to feel welcomed and connected. And above all, don't stress. It's about connecting with people and enjoying the tea, and don't stress. Try and enjoy that moment yourself. So I do want to remind everybody that next week, I don't know what we're going to be doing, but we will be meeting. And I know we just moved to Monday, so we're getting used to that adjustment as well. On May 11th, we will be doing our monthly questions and answers. So feel free to start getting those questions in. Anything you've been wondering about tea or blends or anything like that. The 18th is when we're going to do part 2 of the teapots and teacups, teapots versus teacups, and pairing teas to both the cups and the teapots. That part 2 of that, which was originally scheduled for today, will be on the 18th. And beyond that, I can't help you very much. Now, I do also want to say, due to some circumstances that have been going on, we will not be able to send out any orders until May 15th. So if you put an order in with us right now, we're really sorry, but we had to leave town very suddenly and unexpectedly. And so we will not be able to fulfill those orders until we get back. And that won't be until May 15th is what we're expecting right now. So we just want to put that out there, especially so you understand we're not ignoring your order and we will respond to it, but it will not be able to go out for at least a couple of weeks. All right. I want to say, let's see if there was anything else. Oh, and we will still be releasing in June. We'll have Summer Butterfly, and we will have our Summer Kiss that are coming out. Just remember that is also coming up soon. We're getting close. So the end of April is coming. Next Monday, we will also have a special. I'm not going to announce what it is or why it is, but we will be doing something very special next week. And that is all I had. Other than I want to say, start planning that Mother's Day tea now if you want to have it. But I want to say thanks for joining me. If you try this Mother's Day tea plan, send me a couple of pictures and let me know how it goes, what teas you decided to serve and different things like that. And I know it's a little in advance, but I do wish everybody a happy Mother's Day, and enjoy your tea. And thanks for joining me, tea family. I appreciate it as we kind of move to Monday nights from Sundays. All right. I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about today. So thanks, everybody, and we will talk to you later.
Bye.